we've got some breaking news in the crypto space. First of all, PayPal suspending crypto sales in light of the UK's new rules. Second of all, Coinbase wins approval to offer crypto futures trading in the US. And then also, there is some speculation about how much Ethereum Donald Trump holds. And a lot of people have been commenting and tagging me about this Ripple new announcement. What's going on, we'll talk about in this video. And of course, some more juicy stuff. So make sure you go ahead and press the like button on this video, as I'm trying to keep you up to date with everything that's going on in crypto. First of all, what is this about? All right, Ripple case. Well, simply put, here's what it looks like. Please take notice that Andrew, a member of this court in good standing, hereby respectfully enters an appearance for investment banker declarant in the above captioned action. The clerk of this court is requested to note this appearance on the court's docket and to forward all copies of entries and everything to the undersigned counsel. And even though none of the crypto lawyers have been talking about it, I think it was actually quite interesting. He will appear as an investment banker declarant in the lawsuit, and the purpose of this is to avoid disclosure of any potentially confidential information in response to an earlier order that was sealed by the court, that of the Hinman speech documents. The investment banker declarant aims to protect their own stakeholders and bar uncertainty as the commission looks to further repeal the court's summary judgment ruling, where Judge Torres concluded that secondary XRP sales do not constitute investment contracts. It's also important to note that this is a little L for Ripple, as they had previously opposed an appearance for the investment banker declarant. And of course, as you guys know, we've got Ripple's response being due this Saturday, and another update in the Grayscale lawsuit, I believe, this Friday. And it's interesting, but many people think, okay, there's going to be one big bang to do everything good, or to do everything bad. Or in other words, CZ said it beautifully. People often seek the one thing that changed everything, and the same thing applies for the future. But in reality, it's often the consistent little things that accumulate over time. What I always keep telling you is keep building, keep thinking. I'm not a financial advisor, but I always say, if you keep on buying, usually you'll end up in the good. If you only buy once, very often that was a bad buy. And on that note, a lot of the people who have been buying consistently are in massive profits right now. And also note that for Ripple, XRP, whatever, it's not about that one partnership that changes everything. It's about the consistent building of a project, protocol, or network that eventually is what gets it to the top. So people are waiting for the switch to be flipped. There we go. But in reality, it's been flipped a long time. It's just that the electricity flowing through is not that much, right? There's only a couple of light bulbs on. And we want, instead of 50 light bulbs, for there to be 70,000 light bulbs on. Anyway, at the same time, in a negative light, this also applies. I mean, if you really start taking a look, the entire economy is motherfreaking screwed. The Netherlands entering a recession after the other country entering a recession, after another country entering a recession. Well, in the forefront, they make it act like everything is good. And that's actually one little fun poke I gotta give at Algorand, Solana, and all these other ones, all these cryptos that have been alleged to be securities by the SEC. I've said before, I am extremely bullish on Algorand, Cardano, and you name it, Polygon, all these ones that have been named to be securities by the SEC. The problem is there's a little lack of marketing because of bear market and pressure from the SEC as to what's keeping these coins from popping off. And I want you guys to remember that one of the reasons I am not as adamantly buying these right now is because of that underlying pressure and because of potential other conflicts the SEC could put up on these type of coins right now. And I mean, the regulatory landscape is so strange, as Coinbase just landed themselves a massive approval to basically allow for the futures trading in the US. They've been fighting for this for, I believe, 2 years, and now finally got the approval for Bitcoin and Ethereum, which is just absolutely massive. Of course, this is with the CFTC and the FCM, not with the SEC, but the idea that they got this through is still just absolutely huge. While on the side, over on our UK front, well, PayPal is not doing so well with the crypto situation, right? Even though crypto regulation in the UK used to be pretty clear, it's also sometimes quite negative, at least to some degree. What they've said themselves, though, is that because the UK's, I guess, regulations, they're making sure they suspend it for right now to make sure they come along with the UK's regulatory framework. Perhaps as the UK is refining everything, yada, 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 it does not matter. It's just interesting to me that they're stopping that over in the UK. While PayPal as an entity are doing pretty good in the crypto space. Hardware wallet maker Ledger has partnered with PayPal to allow users to buy crypto in the Ledger Live app through their PayPal accounts, which I think is also pretty wild. Now, like Misconductor says, I am not so sure how this is with regards to privacy, because now your PayPal and email and bank account potentially are connected to your literal hardware wallet, and I'm not too happy with that idea. But of course, it's just the capability that matters here. The idea that you can do it. You can't just buy straight away into safe storage instead of having to buy it on an exchange, potentially with a card or PayPal anyway, and then transferring it over. Because even though there's one additional layer of privacy there, it's still a lot more convenient to just be able to buy it once into cold storage. And so I am loving the fact that this is going to be possible. A little warning, got to give this out to you guys. Arbitrum, I like them. I like the idea, I like the concept. But apparently March 16th is a massive unlock where the team and investor tokens will get unlocked, staggering $1.26 billion. And even though it's still months out, right, I already want to warn you for the idea that people are watching this. The fact that still 50-ish% of the tokens are locked right now, and the idea that it's all, at least a lot of it, is going to be released on that specific day. The numbers here are a little bit confusing, but I'm assuming that as of that point, at least 87.2% of the supply will become available. However, the way it looks, it says as if 87% of the supply becomes available that specific day, but I don't really get exactly how that should work. I'm guessing out of this unlocked portion, a lot is just not circulating for some reason. Otherwise, how could 1.1 billion be 87% of the circulating supply? So just because it's unlocked, I guess it's not circulating yet? No, the actual circulating is 1.275. So basically, the supply, at least that's circulating, is going to double that day. So just put it into your calendars is all I'm trying to say, all right? That's it. The impact, well, it depends on how the market is looking at that time. But around that time, I'm going to be extremely careful with buying Arbitrum. Potentially, it's actually smart to sell everything slightly before, but we'll talk about it as we get closer to this date. As from that point forward, a lot of the early investors are going to be getting their tokens. So yeah. There was something a little funny in the regulatory landscape, right? One thing that happened was Promethium. They responded to yesterday's letter from the Financial Committee, where they basically said that the SEC investigated their relationships with China and Ethereum, etc. And the US SEC said, nah, it's fine. We're closing this investigation. And the CFIUS also thought about investigating, but they never did. At the same time, many people are speculating, all right, whilst Mr. Trump is being investigated, that he's got a frick ton worth of crypto. It's being said he's got $5 million plus. I've been trying to read the report here, trying to find out exactly where it says crypto. I couldn't find it. Took me a good little time to scroll through here because it's not like you can filter this text. It's pictures. It says right here, number 24.2. This is after a long time of scrolling. These are 40 freaking pictures. That he's got $1 million to $5 million in filers, employment assets and income and retirement accounts with an income amount of $2.8, I believe, million. Which to me is interesting, the fact that he would only hold Ethereum, but perhaps that's because of the sale of NFTs that he licensed a while back. Remember that he did not go for the NFT collection himself, but they, or at least some party, paid him to go for these NFTs. Perhaps he got the royalties for it, and that turned out to be, $2 million or whatever. A little while ago it was disclosed he had $250,000, but I guess it's a significant amount more. And perhaps, again, this was not paid for by NFTs directly, but paid by people who wanted to use his name for something in the crypto space, and they paid in Ethereum, and he decided to hold it. I'll also tweet it out so you guys can see this for yourself if you want to. Using my little pen, I've made it clear. But yeah, apparently this all became available because of this. You might have missed this in the middle of the Georgia indictment news, but we got our hands on Trump's new financial documents. Give them a read. And as I said, it's a lot, all right? It's a lot. Because I believe it's 4 parts, all of them being 40 pages long, if I'm not mistaken. This one is 45. Even. Yeah, it's a lot of documents, all right? But we got lucky and we found it quickly. You know what's funny, what I noticed? A lot of these news outlets, they're not even showing you that copy, right? I think they're just copying other news sources. None of them actually were able to find it in that freaking 160-page list, or they were too lazy. But again, you see? This is where Justin BC goes the extra mile, all right? I scroll through all those 160 pages just to make sure we've got the number accurately and we know for sure is the truth. Because all these websites here, none of them are having any screenshot or anything. No, they're just sharing the tweet. As people were saying as well, hey, XRP, when are we finally? As I said, guys, it's not about this one-time event that's going to change everything. It's a lot of the building up that's going to matter the next massive bull run. I made a video already earlier today to explain to you guys that the massive bull run is just around the corner. So just get ready, get prepared. I'm not a financial advisor, but we've been here for a little while, and I think things are about to pop off extremely juicy. But as you guys know, make sure you put that notification bell on if you've not done it yet, so you're updated every single time something crazy happens. And that's about it. See you later in another episode.